So, well, let me record. There we go. So, for those of you who don't know who Christian Walker is, Christian Walker is basically a. Do I even want to call him a far right? You know what I am, because the guy is he gives off massive fascist energy, massive fashy energy. Okay, so Christian Walker is a gay mixed conservative public figure who got his fame from the fact that his dad, if memory serves me correctly, is a famous football player. And I believe his dad also had some sort of like abuse allegations or something where he abused Christian's mom. I'm not 100% certain. I just heard that when somebody roasted the shit out of him in a TikTok one day. Um, so I'm not 100% sure, not 100% certain. But anyways, he is the king of, in my opinion at least, Christian Walker is the king of the token minority, basically, I should say. Basically, people who are parts of marginalized groups who sell out for the approval and the, I guess, love and attention of the oppressive classes. Of the oppressive classes, of course, being cis hetero white men. And that's basically how he got his start. Or that's basically how he got his start, and that's basically how he rose to fame. He just, did what was very easy. Just be a member of a marginalized community. And don't forget, the more boxes that you check off on the marginalization chart, the more conservatives are going to fawn over you, the more they're going to watch you, and the more they're going to donate and give money to you for speaking power to their beliefs, while simultaneously also saying that you're subhuman behind your back. But anyways, Hasan came across him one day when he was looking at TikToks, and as one does, decided, you know what? I gotta have this dude on my show. The debate is in two parts, the first part being 13 minutes, the second part being 34 minutes. And as I mentioned earlier before I started this broadcast on YouTube, today for me, for Monty, the Godzilla of TikTok, it is going to be a very popping night because I am also going to be featured on Prime K's Twitch stream later on tonight at around 8:30. It's going to be a debate panel with other African Americans like myself. I don't know if it's going to be all leftist African Americans or progressive African Americans, or if it's going to be a mixture. I don't know. I do know that Prime K's loves to do mixed faction debates and what have you. But tune in to Prime K's tune into Prime K's YouTube channel, not YouTube channel. Well, yeah, his YouTube channel too. But also tune into his Twitch stream later on tonight at 8:30. I want to say I'm Eastern Standard Time. I think I'm Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, tune in to that. All right. Oh, I already got some people that are already in what's it called? YouTube chat. Awesome. Yeah, the amount of times I've seen alt-right people say, "Oh, I'm not blank. I love conservative minority," it's incredibly annoying. Hopefully my stream does not crash, but that is a bridge we will burn when we get to it. All right. It's Prime Cayes. Yeah. That's how you spell it. Prime Cayes. I appeared on his walk-on panel last night after a debate was finished between two left-leaning people, and I just talked and debated with people and revealed to people that I might be pro-communism. I don't know. Anyways. All right. Let's get this show on the road. I swear, if you crash right now, OBS Studio...
Life happens in the moment, in the quiet and the chaos. You shouldn't have to miss out on all the moments you love just to lose the weight you want. WW's all-new Personal Points program. For the first time ever, your plan is designed 100% for you. Live the life you love. lose the weight you want.
Through the ad. Okay, there we go.
It doesn't matter. You would never in a million fucking... There are cis women that look like that. 100%. 1000%. You would never... Everyone's going to get into...
Wait. This MF had him over his house? See, this is strike number one, Hasan. I would never invite anybody who... I don't even want to invite half the leftists that I know and that I'm friends with over to my house. No offense to y'all, I just don't really trust anybody. But, like, inviting Christian Walker over to your house, to your house, come on, bro. Like, I get that Hasan was probably flexing with inviting him over to his house because Hasan lives in $1 million house. Oprah is still doing stuff. Yeah, I know, right? Like, why is she still doing stuff? But, like, at the same time, I feel like Christian Walker, that's like, you're asking for it when you're inviting somebody like him over to your house. Because think about this, right? Let's say, because Hasan gets death threats all the time. Let's say some dude actually wanted to follow through with his threats, right? All they got to do now is kidnap Christian Walker. They're kidnapping Christian Walker. I mean, they're going to kidnap Christian Walker, and he's going to squeal before they even pull any sort of weapon out of their pants, okay? Christian Walker's just going to just blurt out Hasan's address just as soon as they kidnap him, okay? He's just going to automatically know. They're not even going to pull out like a switchblade, nothing. It's just automatically, just instant squealing. That's why I would not invite Christian Walker. He's not the one who's going to commit the crime, but he is the one that's going to assist somebody else in committing the crime because he's just going to give away Hasan's location. Bad move, Hasan. Bad move.
Fucking clock mode right now and be like, I'm clocking. But ultimately, there are cisgender women that look exactly like that, and you would never in a million fucking years be like, that's a trans woman, unless it's constantly in your fucking mind. Straight up.
Okay, so like, I don't know if this is just where they like decided to start the editing process of like clipping the video and everything, but Hasan is right. And I've touched up on this before in numerous TikTok videos and streams where I've told transphobic people, Hasan's address is already public. Yeah, but there are dumb people who don't know that if it is already public. And I've only just started recently watching Hasan, so I didn't know that. So I guess I'm dumb people. But anyways, I've said this numerous times before to a lot of transphobic dudes, and that is because it's only ever like really the dudes that are typically like transphobic. There are transphobic women, like for God's sakes, we have TERFs, but like I feel like with TERFs are really good at hiding their transphobia. Because they mask their transphobia in phrases like, you know, KAM or kill all men and shit, which got into the mainstream and allowed TERFs to kind of like just blend in with like regular people and what have you. But like a lot of the dudes that are like, I would never date a trans person, I am willing to bet that half of those men that have said that have probably had relations like that with a woman who's trans and did not know. Because the way the surgeries, the operations, the hormones and everything, the way the science works right now with transitioning, like it's almost impossible to tell. And it's because that's the point. Like they're supposed to look like, you know, a woman. They're supposed to look like a man. And the reason why I use quotation marks is because, you know, gender is a social construct. Man and woman technically doesn't exist. So before anybody wants to clip me and say I'm being transphobic with that.
Straight up, you would never. The only reason why, just like the only reason why you know that this is an issue is because someone made it an issue and presented it to you, and you're conditioned into thinking that this is an issue and it's somehow unfair because trans women are not women in your mind. And that's fine. That's like, I mean, it's not fine. I don't agree with you on that. But ultimately, this is not a fucking big deal in any meaningful capacity. You know who it is a big deal for? No, it's a big deal for fucking trans people that get owned non-fucking stop for just being trans. That's who it's a big deal for. And I do care about, I care about making sure that they're not like, you know, They already have a lot going on. I care about making sure that we're just not like fucking owning trans people for no reason whatsoever, other than
competing against
other than who they.
Bro, I hope I get to the point one day where my chat pops off the way Hasan's does. Like, I don't even know how he responds to any of these messages that he gets in his chat because they go by faster than the flash. Like, because he's got so many people, so many viewers in his audience. Like, I don't understand how he ever like snipes one comment to like read and respond to, but he does it all the time. Like, I can't. I literally cannot. I literally cannot.
They are and what they can't change about
trans
themselves.
women who want to work in the workplace, who want to go shop, who want to, but you want to compete against women, yeah, you're gonna get owned.
Is he eating in his house? Is he eating? Is Christian Walker? No, see that's nothing. Christian Walker would not be eating in my house. Christian Walker would not be eating in my house. Okay, just would not. Nobody. If I were to invite any enemy over to my house, here's what would happen. This chair would be my throne. There would be fire around it, as if I am Lord Ozai. Okay, like. No, I don't know if he's feeding him. It looks like it's something that Christian Walker maybe brought. I would have been like, nah, leave it in your car or finish it in your car. Like, you're not eating in my house. We're not that friendly to where I can let you eat in my house. No. I'm petty for like no freaking reason. But like, this would be my throne. It would yeah, right, to offer him not offering any of my enemies that come over to my house any sort of sustenance, okay? Not doing it. Not or unless it's like, you know, one of those like boxes where you get with like the mixed bags of chips where it's got Fritos, Cheetos, and you kind of have a choice as to like whether or not you get like an entire assortment of chips that you want. So like you get the Doritos that you want, but then you get the Fritos that you don't want. That's the only thing he's able to eat in my house is the shit that I got that I don't want to throw away because, you know, I don't want to waste food. That's the only time he's going to be able to eat in my house. Like, that's it. That's it. I'm not letting him bring his own stuff. Nothing. You're not eating in my house, bozo. But yeah, this is gonna be my throne. There's gonna be fire around it, like I'm freaking Clutch Fire Lord of the Fire Nation, okay? And like he's gonna sit directly across from me. There's gonna be a camera here, and probably one right here, and then probably one right behind his head as well, so we can catch that ugly head from behind. And that's how we're handling it. That's how it's gonna go.
You don't care. You admitted that you don't care.
I do care about this issue for sure.
No, you don't. You have never spent. Here's my argument. Okay.
Oh, there's an ad. Damn it.
Welcome to Making Dough with Rakuten. Today, I'm going to teach you how to get cash back.
Barbed wire. Ma'am, that is not.
On all the things you want and need to buy. Step 1. Get the Rakuten app.
I mean, well, then again, I don't like licorice, so yeah, I probably would do that. I probably would offer him freaking licorice. I only like the Twizzlers that are multicolored and multi-flavored. I don't like the original Twizzlers, nor do I like black licorice. You own some shit if you eating black licorice. See,
I think if you are going to talk about trans women competing in a particular sport, like whether it's high school volleyball or whatever, you should be forced, Clockwork Orange style, to watch every single fucking high school division of that sport specifically for the rest of the fucking year that the sport is happening. If you ever talk about it, you should be forced to fucking watch it at gunpoint.
Yeah.
But I could say the same about people who want universal.
Okay, so there's a reason why Hasan said this, right? There's a reason why he said that. So the reason why Hasan said that is because the people that are oftentimes right now, usually the far right, that are oftentimes, you know, I wanna use the correct language here, because if I don't, TikTok will ban me. Will take my live down in a heartbeat. The people that are complaining the most, there I go. The people that are complaining the most about transgender people playing and competing in, like, transgender women competing in, you know, women's sports and what have you, is because they're only ever, you know, concerned about trans women. They're never concerned about like trans men that go in that go from female to male and then go into like men's wrestling, like in high school, and completely like dominate the entire division. But they're always concerned about, women, because they view women as helpless, and it's always about, trying to protect women and shit, even when, they don't need to be protected in this case. Hold on, let me turn my Wi-Fi off. I guess my Wi-Fi is acting crazy right now. But these people, these people, they always act like they care about like women's sports and shit, but they don't watch women's sports, or when they do, they ridicule it endlessly, or they sit there and talk about like their uniforms and shit that they're wearing. These people that say that they care about trans people, trans women competing in women's sports, they never gave a single flying rat's ass before, trans people started to become more open and more accepted in the open.
Universal health care, who want universal housing, who have tons of money, then give your money and help these solutions.
I want to.
You go fund some homeless people. Go buy them a house. We can do that, but clearly,
Christian, we all literally do. Like, it's been calculated that like it costs less. It is cheaper to just get the homeless off the street by giving them homes than it is to, have them out on the street and waste money on law enforcement kicking them out or brutalizing them and killing them or all this other kind of shit. Like,
clearly we all don't.
I do want that. I want that.
I mean, not just for you, for every leftist with money. Then go spend eat the minimalist amount of food you can eat, live in the smallest place you can possibly live in, the least expensive place, and give all the rest of your money to all these different causes. Fund a homeless person to live here.
But like, what is that going to accomplish? Like, honestly, what is that going to accomplish? Like, I love it when right-wingers always say, well, if you're leftist, you better be freaking poor. I'm talking, you better be in the freaking dirt kind of poor. Why is Christian Walker still a thing? Because of Big Haas's infinite graces. That's why. Anyways. Like, they always approach systemic issues and systemic inequalities with individualistic solutions that, in the grand scheme of things, aren't gonna work. Even if Hasan donated all of his money and just lived in a box, it still would not fix the issues that we're facing, because they're much bigger than just the fact that there are rich people. It's the fact that there are systems that benefit those rich people at the expense of the poor people. So you have to tear down and restructure and reform these systems, or just not even reform necessarily. I shouldn't say that. You need to do away with these systems and make something new in order to make any lasting systemic and societal change. That's what you have to do. Is my internet on? Okay, my internet is on. Okay, I'm like, what?
Do it with your money. But
even if I were to do that,
there are people who give like tens of millions of dollars at a time to these causes, and it doesn't do anything. Because only something at the something at the scale of stage. Okay, that can do anything.
Right, but they still can provide with $10 million.
I'm looking at his chat right now, and it's all like screaming at Christian. Like, wow, I did not realize that this guy was hated so much. Also, I want to go ahead and flex here and say that I have never made, this is the first time I've ever responded to anything Christian Walker has said. I have never made a TikTok video about Christian Walker, never done any of that shit, never given him any time of day, because I understood that someone like Christian Walker is literally just a grifter looking for attention. That's it. He's not anybody really to be taken all that seriously. He's just a joke. He's a laughing stock. Like, yeah, you respond, he wins. Like, and that's how a lot of these right-wingers are too. A lot of them, and it's not even, okay, the thing about Christian is that the only reason why he has the platform that he has is because he's right-wing, because he's gay, because he's black, because he's conservative. That's the reason why he has a platform. Because, like I said earlier, it's tokenization. The right loves to use token minorities, token members of marginalized communities to push their own agendas because they think that, oh, if this person is spouting right-wing ideas, well, then they can get other people to, they can get other black, gay, mixed, however, whatever, POC people to come and join the right as well, which is why they fund and back people like Christian Walker. But at the end of the day, really, Christian Walker is just a failed, what's the word I want to look for? He's a failed, like, culture war drone, in a way. Like, the shit that he preaches, it's bad, it's wrong, but yeah, they love anecdotal. It's bad and it's wrong, but it's not, like, as bad as I would say somebody like Charlie Kirk, Steven Crowder, Joe Rogan, and John Doyle, and these other, you know, far-right figures that have followings on, like, you know, YouTube and shit that get failed human, that get hundreds upon thousands of views daily, and all they do is spew right-wing BS and propaganda. Like, Joe Rogan has not gotten a different topic other than the vaccine for the past, like, 3 months or some shit. That's all he's ever, or if that. I think since the COVID vaccine was released, that's all the dude has ever talked about. And that rhetoric is damaging. But really, all Christian ever talks about is, you know, the same, like, baseline conservative BS, you know, kneel for the flag. I mean, not kneel, stand for the flag. He would not say kneel. Stand for the flag, you know, support our troops. I'm not black, I'm American. And all the, like, just base level crap that nobody actually cares about. Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna keep going.
There's tens of millions of dollars, tons of homes for homeless people.
Okay, but if philanthropy was a solution, then why are there homeless people?
Like, in like every state. Why is
it because such people aren't doing it.
What, you think people
aren't doing philanthropy? Do you think people in New York City are not doing philanthropy?
No, they are.
That's all they fucking do in Manhattan.
You're telling me there's not leftists in New York who couldn't buy homes for homeless people? Is that what you're telling me?
You're saying like an individual guy should buy like a $1 million home.
Yeah. How many maybe not $1 million, but yeah, with tens of millions of dollars.
How much do you think any home in New York costs?
It doesn't have you have the homeless.
Okay, so yes, there are leftists or people that could buy homes for homeless people. But the problem isn't necessarily the current homeless population. The problem is homelessness, which is bigger than just the homeless population. The problem is that there are other people that could easily find themselves in the same position as people sleeping on benches in downtown Cincinnati and what have you. Or I'm only saying Cincinnati because I live in Ohio. There are a lot of us, many of us working class millennials and Gen Z folk are just 1 or 2 missed pay periods away from being evicted. Like, literally. Like, so the problem, again, is a systemic issue. It's not like giving everybody, you could give every homeless person a home and there would still be another homeless person tomorrow. 100%. Because again, homelessness, it's not that person right there is just a bad or a shitty person or what have you. The problem is a bad and shitty system. Taking an individualistic approach to systemic issues is not going to actually substantively change things. The only people that could, like, actually change shit systemically with an individualistic approach are Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and the other top 1%ers, the top 10 richest people on the planet. Those are the people who could take a individualistic approach and probably fix a systemic issue. Those people, because they have the money to create the systemic solutions to the systemic problems, but they actively wake up every day and choose not to.
This person has to live in New York City, has to live in Manhattan. No. No,
you can like you're supposed to like buy them a building in Yonkers and put them on a bus there.
You said basic needs, basic amount of dignity. Buy them a home in Dallas, Texas.
Okay,
buy them a home somewhere else so they can afford the basic amount.
Who's organizing the transport of like the bus of homeless people?
The rich person giving the money.
But what you're talking about already,
you have so much.
But what you're talking about already exists.
Would be done for cheaper, more efficiently.
You know what this reminds me of? Does anybody watching right now on YouTube or TikTok remember when I responded to the video of that Swedish kid, not the one about repealing the Civil Rights Act, but the Swedish libertarian and the other Swedish libertarian who said. Who tried to take my tweet that I made about Thomas Sowell on Twitter and tried to say that I was like dumb because I said that if you like Thomas Sowell, you're most likely racist, because literally the only people that ever like Thomas Sowell are like white people and people who consider themselves to be economists or econ majors or what have you. Yeah, like when they brought up like public transportation, reminded me of that because he wanted to sit here and he made a video in response, and I made a video in response to that on YouTube. You guys should go check that out. And the reason why I made a YouTube video response and not a TikTok response is because, and I might just start doing that this way, where like I just have you guys like send me TikToks and shit or tag me in TikTok videos, and I just respond to them all in like one big like video, YouTube video or like reel or whatever, or what have you. One of the problems I had was that he said hashtag privatize everything as he was sitting on public transport. Like, dude, that's an L that you're handing yourself. You're saying privatize everything and you're literally using public transit. Bro, be better.
By the government.
Yeah. Why would you go
through all this when you could literally just have the fucking
Because I don't want working class Americans paying for it.
But why? We already established earlier on that like you don't want a homeless person living on the street. You think it's a threat to your security, right? Like that will literally improve your life. Like it is going to make your life better, and it's going to make that other person's life better.
That's some Andrew Yang shit. Like Andrew Yang didn't actually care about the homeless until Andrew Yang didn't actually start caring about the homeless until like one non-homeless like rich lady got like assaulted by a homeless person, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I care about the homeless all of a sudden. That's just what that reminded me of. I'm ADHD, I'm gonna blurt what
tremendously. And that's what I never understand. It's like a failure somewhere along the like conservative rhetoric and conservative thought process where it's like you're gonna benefit from that homeless person no longer being homeless. You are. That person is not gonna live outside of your house anymore. They're not gonna have to take a shit and live in the indignity of like.
This is true, by the way. This is true. This is very true. Also, think about it this way. Conservatives are always like, I don't know why conservatives haven't gotten on the end homelessness bandwagon. It would net them such a positive if they did so. Because aren't conservatives the same kinds of people that are always complaining about nobody wanting to work and about never being able to find workers and what have you? Like aren't conservatives always like that homeless person is another person that you could have working? Like, where's the disconnect? I'll tell you where the disconnect is. The disconnect comes from the fact that these people, conservatives like Christian Walker, want to be able to say that they have more or look better than somebody else. That's the whole point. And that's the reason why so many people like capitalism.
Dignity of like having to eat fucking trash every day. And ultimately, we know for a fact that despite the billions of dollars that are given to 501c3s that do exclusively what you're talking about, this problem has not been solved.
Hold on. Okay, did it pause? Okay, yeah. You don't have to worry about them going through your trash can. You don't have to worry about them shitting on the side of the sidewalk. You don't have to worry about them taking up benches that you and your rich family want to sit on as you feed the birds or some shit in the middle of downtown. I don't know. You don't have to worry about them begging outside of gas stations. Like, we would net such a positive from ending homelessness as a society. But the problem is that there are too many people who don't want to end it because there are people that are sick, that are like legitimately sick in the head that get off on even a homeless person walking up to them and saying, "Hey, ma'am, excuse me, can I have go away, get a job, or I don't want to give you anything, or shit like that." There are people who like that feeling, who feel as though who doing that gives them a good feeling. It makes them feel good that they got to tell someone off. Because people are sick. My dad was like that. My dad was like that to homeless people.
Because the problem is, and it will never be solved, because the problem is not something that you can individually decide to do. It's what the state is supposed to do. How do I know this? Because the state has done this in other places. America is not the only country on the planet. There are plenty of countries in comparable OECD nations where they have a much better outlook on combating homelessness and eradicating it where it stands. And that starts with a housing first policy. And that starts with not shelters, but actually how.
Also, notice how Christian Walker right now is like utterly speechless. Other conservatives and other right-wing figures would be trying to trample on Hasan right now and try to interrupt him every chance they get. Shit like this just proves that people like Christian Walker are just grifters. That's all they are. They don't actually know anything. I would not be surprised if people like Christian Walker, Deborah Lee, American Blondie, Rihanna Sun, all those people, or American Barbie or whatever the hell her name is. I wouldn't be surprised if you were to actually sit these people down. If you were to actually just sit these people down and talk to them about politics, they probably would not know up from down. They would not. They would not. Because again, they're grifters. They've watched the right-wing rhetoric. They've watched the right-wing rhetoric. They have memorized the lines, basically. They know what to say to elicit a reaction in their base, because it's incredibly easy to elicit a reaction from the right. You just say, it's like that scene from Family Guy where Lois says, I think what was she, running for president or something? She goes, 9/11 was bad. And then everybody just erupts in like cheer and applause. And then they get quiet. She says it again, and then they erupt again. She goes, 9/11, doesn't even finish, and they lean in and they gasp, and then she goes, was bad, and then they just erupt in like celebration. These people are so easy to figure out, and that's how they have people like Christian Walker that make their entire movement look like one big joke.
Housing the homeless people so they can go on a pathway towards rehabilitating themselves and becoming active members of society if they want to do so. That's just how.
Because like, as it stands, right? And I'm sorry I'm interrupting so much. As it stands with the issue of homelessness, these people right now are leeches on society. They are. They're leeches on society in being homeless. But by giving them things, yes, for free, they would no longer become leeches on society, because we're continually spending money to like kick homeless people out the street, keep homeless shelters open, all that kind of shit. We're continuously shelling out money. Whereas if we just did a one-time charity thing where we gave them houses and shit, we probably wouldn't have to give them shit ever again. But no, conservatives don't want to give anybody anything for free.
It works. And I'm giving you how it works. And I'm explaining to you how it works. But for some reason, you're like, no, let the rich people do it. The rich people are trying to do it. It just doesn't work. It literally doesn't work. Isn't that fucking cliche? Like, madness is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
That's literally what we're doing. All we've done since the Gilded Age is these shitty philanthropic organizations that, like, I'm sure you can point to some people individually that they've helped. Sure. But it's never going to work to the scale of an actual government policy designed to do this.
Hold up. Somebody in TikTok chat said, let me join. I'm doing commentary. I'm recording a YouTube video and I'm doing commentary, and I have to get this done by 8:30 because I have a stream to be on. No, I'm not letting you join. Sorry. This isn't a free discussion. This is me doing commentary. Give a man a fish, feed him for it. Yep, teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. Exactly. What was it? I agree with your idea, but the maintenance of a house is ongoing. Plus, plus property tax, monthly bills. But like, again, if you give those people homes, they can start becoming contributing members to society by getting jobs to where they can do their own. I'm streaming on YouTube right now. Link in bio, actually. Right next to the follow button. What I'm saying, they can handle that stuff. They'll be able to handle that stuff themselves because they'll have a home. Because you do, in many cases, need a home in order to get a job. You need a place of residence in order to get a job. So, like, you know, and jobs really typically do not hire homeless people, even though homeless people would probably gladly work or whatever, because at least they'd be able to eat daily. What was I saying? Yeah, it would be ongoing, but like they'd have the means to be able to take care of themselves at that point. The problem is the problem with American society is we don't ever want to help anybody. That's the problem. We never want to help anybody. Oh God, there's another ad. All right, I'm gonna go get something to drink.
So let's say you have to read an incredibly long email from your boss that you have to finish before the big meeting starts in 10 minutes. Or you're cramming for an exam the night before, but can't bear to keep your eyes open to read one more textbook chapter. Or you're reviewing a dense legal document that could change your life forever.
Oh, I can skip. There we go.
Like your entire point, right, is that like a liberal billionaire doesn't really give a shit, right?
I mean, not as I'm sure some do give a shit, but I'm sure
you think they mostly. Your point is like they mostly don't care, right?
Mostly not. No.
Why would their organizations work then? Like, why would they actually help people to the scale that
well,
they need
if they
to be
don't
helped?
care, stop trying to make me care. If the people who actually believe in this.
So you are ultimately saying you don't care, then? That's what you're saying.
What
but
did
you said
I
you
say?
do care
What
earlier.
did
So I'm
I
operating
say?
on the basis that you said you care. So I'm talking to someone who cares.
What did I say? What did I say? Was I not correct? What did I say? The problem with America in particular is people do not care about other people. That's our biggest problem. I mean, don't believe me? Look at COVID. Bro, look at COVID. Did I lock that door? The last thing I need is for my neighbor to come busting up in here. Look at COVID. Like, we can't even get people to wear a mask that in many cases people are handing these out for free every day. When at my day job, before we pull our trucks off the lot, every day, before we pull our trucks off the lot and go get our bags with all our packages in them and shit, every day my manager walks up to each truck with a box of masks and says, "Do you need one?" It is not coming out of my check. He is not asking for no upfront donation or extra work, none of that. Just giving me a mask. There are restaurants, not even just restaurants, just facilities in general, where they will have disposable masks sitting right in front of the front door for no extra charge. And for some odd reason, it's like trying to get it. For some odd reason, for a lot of Americans, it's easier to feed a baby a spoonful of Brussels sprouts than it is to get these idiots to put a mask on, a piece of cloth over your face for like 2 seconds and show that you care about other people.
Not someone who doesn't
No,
care.
I don't care to do it your way. I don't care to do it your way.
But
So
your
I'm
way
saying
is
if they're
literally
not-
just doing it the same way. Your way is like private philanthropy, or like, I guess, send them on a bus to Dallas, Texas, to like live in a house that was built in 2013.
Which, of course, again,
Which is, yeah.
it's not even something that people can do or are doing, and it won't happen regardless. So, I'm just saying, we give a fuckload of money to this government. I think like it should actually do shit that, you know, normal functioning operating governments do, rather than like sit around and get.
And see, therein lies the biggest issue. Not biggest. I always say that this is the biggest problem, and then I turn around and say that this is the biggest problem. I do that shit all the time. Therein lies another big problem with this issue, and that is that the United States does not have a properly functioning government. We do not have a properly functioning government that is centered around civilians. It's centered around corporations. It's centered around the rich and powerful, the top 1%. And when you have a government, I strongly do believe that if people, if we actually had a functioning government, you would not have people saying that they want very little government. The reason why people are saying that they want very little government is because our current government does not do jack shit to help and support the people. That's why. That's why. But if you were to change the government and make it to where it no longer serves the top 1%, and instead the power was actually in the hands of the people and not just those with insane amounts of capital, then people would actually would stop saying this BS about small government. And don't try to say that you want, I don't want any conservative commenting on this video or commenting in this live stream saying, well, big government is bad, because half the time the majority of you guys want all our money to go to police and military anyway, which is big government. So hush.
Do it by giving more money, or you propose doing it with the current amounts we give?
You're not going to give more money to the government. I will give more money to the government, yes. And people that are of my level of...
No! The flex! The blatant... That was like a Johnny Bravo level flex. You know how he's like on the phone and then he like drops it on his bicep and then flexes and the phone goes like flying or it like breaks or whatever? That's what Hasan just did, but with words. He was like, you're not gonna give more money. I am. You don't have as much money as me. Bro, I'm dead. I am dead. And Christian...
of wealth and higher will give more money to the government. Yeah, certainly.
You know why?
And
because you know why? All of Christian's money belongs to his fucking dad.
I think that is fair. Absolutely. I also think that the way I generate my wealth is by income. So I am giving a percentage of all of the amount of revenue that I generate per year back to the government. It's more than 50%, I would say. Whereas most wealthy people that park all of their income, park all of their wealth in the stock market don't. They pay an effective tax rate of like 3% to 5%. I'm paying 53% in California. I don't have a problem with that, and I will pay even more than that because I'm very fortunate.
So you're happy to
I'm
pay
very
that
lucky.
amount. You see what they're doing with our money right now.
Yeah, as someone who pays a fuckload, and we have a $44 billion surplus now, and that's only part of the reason why we can even have a discussion about like potential universal health care in the state. I'm an incredibly fortunate person. I can survive. I can live an incredibly comfortable existence. I didn't used to make a lot of money, and I didn't understand it. And I used to believe what the fucking rich people said all the time.
All right, I got to address this question that somebody just dropped in TikTok chat. Somebody said, Christian Walker parking all his money on stocks. I don't believe that Christian Walker is competent enough to park his money in stocks. Christian Walker may have his money parked in stocks, but he pays somebody to buy stocks for him, probably. But besides that, all of his money is his dad's money.
About like how, the government's taking more of my money. The government's taking more of my money. I'm here to tell you motherfuckers right now in the chat that will never make this amount of money in your entire lives. Every rich person is lying to you. They 100% could easily budget out another 10% of their fucking wealth and their yearly earnings back to the government. They just don't want to do it, okay? Because they want to keep as much money as possible. Partially, they don't want to do it because they think the government is not working for them, or the government, rather, is not functional, and it's spending the wealth in an unwise capacity. But the real reason is because they just don't care. They don't care if you fucking die, okay? I'm telling you how it is. As someone who does make a fuckload of money, and as someone who gives a lot of money to the American government every fucking year, most rich people do not give a shit, and that's why they're not giving more in taxes.
So you're saying you want to give 10% more rather than... You'd rather just give more, keep everything we have, and give more than reform how they're using what you're currently giving.
No, of course I'm going to reform. No. Of course I'm going to reform.
Would you rather do that rather than give more?
No, I want to do both. I'm realistically speaking, I see how little capital gains taxes, like how I see how the truly wealthy, not people like actors, not people like celebrities, not people like doctors. I'm talking like actual fucking wealthy individuals.
So he's talking about like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. And I don't think that people truly comprehend how much money those two idiots have, okay? Like, your favorite actor think of your favorite actor right now, okay? Think of your favorite actor right now. All right? Do you have it pictured in your head? Okay. They are a droplet in the sink, the lake of water, of money that is Jeff Bezos. They are a droplet. They are a sprinkle in comparison to that man. Oh, do I got a fuzz in my hair? Like, do I got any Dragon Ball Z fans in chat? Or I don't even need to do Dragon Ball Z fans, just anime fans, right? You know how like the animes where they talk about like power levels and shit. It's like, you know, someone with a power level this high can easily bat away someone with a power level of like 50,000 can easily swat away somebody with a power level of like 5,000 or 1,000, right? That's the comparison between Jeff Bezos and between Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Buffett, Zuckerberg, those people. That's the comparison of those people to, I don't know, insert rich famous actor or celebrity, Billie Eilish or somebody here. You know what I mean? Like, maybe Billie Eilish wasn't the best example, but I think you get what I mean.
I see how they get taxed and the way that they get taxed. And I could easily do this too. I could so easily do this. I could just put literally every fucking dime I have in the stock market. That's it. Okay? Like, I make I pay taxes on my income right now from what I'm getting in revenue from Twitch and everywhere else. And then I park all of it after taxes in the stock market and then let that fucking accumulate every single year, 10%. Oh my Lord. And that would be great. Just let it sit. Don't take anything out. Park it. Okay?
Another ad and then I'm going to respond.
Meet your next pillow. Why do we make our pillow in the shape of a cube? I'll tell you. The problem with pillows is that you're trying to fit a round peg into a square hole, or rather a pillow-shaped peg.
Why is this ad louder than the video itself? Okay, so somebody said Christian Walker doesn't have the range for this conversation. You would be right, because like I said earlier in this broadcast, Christian Walker and other people like him are grifters. When it comes down to politics, these people have a very street or surface level understanding of politics. When you really get these people, and I'm not saying that I'm some political expert or anything, but I know more than Christian Walker, but like these people, when you put them in these situations, they don't know up from down, they don't know left from right. And that's why the right oftentimes has to talk over you in debates. They have to posture, use straw mans, red herrings, lead you in all these different directions, lead you down this really weird rabbit holes and shit, because they don't actually know politics. They just know chaos in a way. Let's go live and talk about what it is to be a small business owner. Dude, no, I'm not. I'm doing commentary and I'm recording a YouTube video. Shut up.
The way that rich people operate is exactly like that. And it is basically...
Also, hold on. Small business owners, you do understand that the left is on your side, right? Yeah, they only know talking points. Like, when we talk about seizing the means of production, we're not talking about coming after you guys. We're talking about the top 1% that hurt you as well. That hurt your business, that hurt your livelihood as well. And then when we take from them, we're going to give to you as well. We're going to make sure that you guys have all of the resources and what have you that you guys need to do your metalworking business, to do your car repair, your mechanics business, stuff like that. We're not coming for you. You think that because you have 8 acres or however many acres is big, you think that because I'm a city person, okay? You think that because you have so many acres and a mule that means that you're a target. No. We don't care. We want you to come with us. That's what we want. We're not against you.
Substituting actual taxes that you should be paying to the government.
I wish I did not. If I had it my way, I would only shop small businesses. I would not be supporting Jeff Bezos and, you know, these the guys who own Walmart and shit like that. But small business owners, because of the fact that they're small business owners, they have to charge more for their product. And as a result, me being a poor person, I can't indulge in their products as much as I would like to. Oftentimes, your guys' shit made by hand, cool, it's all cool looking and everything. Like I wish that I could help the small businesses right across the street, right around the corner from me. But I can't.
Government to interest rates, if you even are paying any interest rates, to a bank. And it's just money going back and forth between financial structures rather than the actual government that should be adequately funded for whatever the fuck we want to spend it on. I also am not anti revising the way we spend our money. I think we spend an insane amount of money having fucking 300 plus, 400 plus that we know of military bases all around the fucking planet, or we have no business being there. Fuck that shit. Take that off. We subsidize the military-industrial complex. We subsidize every facet of like American agricultural production with no returns on that investment. We just do it unconditionally because capital owners have decided this is the way it's supposed to be. There is not a single fucking part of the American existence, of American economy or American industry that is not over-reliant on government subsidies. If all I'm simply stating is, if we're going to give them money, then we get ownership over it, okay? Then we get a say. If we give Boeing money, or if we give the airliner industry money, they don't get to fucking operate monopolies and charge whatever the fuck they...
Like, think about that for a second, though, right? Like, not Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos also owns a newspaper, right? What is it? Doesn't he own, like... Is it the Washington... It's the Washington Post, right? That he owns? That's the newspaper that he owns? Right? You young people want to give this country away when we lose... you know what? Let me finish my thought first. Then I'm going to rip into you. Yeah, the Washington Post. Thank you. Okay. Where he also tells people... He denies giving his workers a livable wage while simultaneously telling them ways in which they can save money, while simultaneously getting money back from his workers again through government subsidy. I'm done. Anyways, no, listen. It is not our generation's fault, okay? Charles in charge. It is not our generation's fault, all right? It is not our generation's fault. I know your name has 1960 in it, so I'm assuming that you're from the 60s. It's not our fault. This is not our fault. This what we're experiencing right now is the fault of Reagan era politics that was continued by the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, the Obama administration. We're experiencing those effects. We're getting the tail end of the shit you guys put in place. It's not anything we're doing. We work more hours. We work harder and longer hours, but yet are not at a similar standing as to where you guys were when you were our age. And then you guys have the nerve to sit here and say that we're lazy. CEOs and shit, CEOs and business owners all over the country don't want to go back to being a worker because they know how workers are treated. You got people that are door dashing, that work in corporate or IT or whatever for DoorDash, that are required to do at least one dash a year or whatever, one dash a month or whatever the hell DoorDash decided they were going to do, that are complaining about the fact that they got to do that. Meanwhile, that's some Joe Schmo's everyday income that he uses to feed his family, put food on the table for himself and his family, and to pay his bills. And then y'all same people will turn around and call the rest of us out here that are working day in and day out. Y'all have the nerve to say that what's going on right now is our fault and that we're the lazy ones. I'm sorry, but when you work 3 jobs a week, when you work 80 plus hours a week in 1 week, not 2, but in 1 week, when you work that much, you get at least a day to just sit around and do nothing and be lazy. Okay? It's no longer the 1960s, 50s, 40s, whatever, when you could feed a family of 5 on a 1-person income of minimum wage, all right? No, your generation ruined that. And to all the conservatives that are saying, let's conserve, let's enact conservatism and conserve things. I got something to conserve. Why don't we conserve the way things were for families way back when? You want us to have families and shit? You want us to have kids? Well, there you go. That's how you do it. You allow us to get to a point and help us get to a point to where we can do that. Let's conserve that, huh? Let's conserve raising a family of 5 or family of 4 or 5 on one income of minimum wage. Let's conserve that. Oh, what? You don't want to conserve that? Exactly. Thought so.
They want to you. They don't get to fucking keep consistently deregulating certain sectors that are supposed to, improve the quality of your experience as a consumer. That's unacceptable. They can't constantly make financial decisions knowing full well that the government and the American taxpayer is going to bail them out every step of the fucking way. And that's the reason why they can never have cash on hand. And they can always engage in stock buybacks. And they can do whatever the fuck they want because they know full well when shit hits the fan that they are a too big to fail sector or too important to the American national security sector that the taxpayers will fucking bail out. I think that's bullshit. I think we need to revise that. Fuck them. Jail them. Throw them in fucking jail. Kill them.
When I'm gone here, I hope you get what you want, and then I'm going to laugh at you from the sky. Yeah, you're going to be laughing for joy. You're going to be laughing with joy because I'm going to be happy while you are dead. I don't know. Not because you're dead. No, not. I'm not going to be happy because you're dead. Like, I don't wish any ill will on anyone who is against me right now in the comment section. I just think that America has done a very fantastic job of propaganda and basically brainwashing its citizens into believing that things that could actually help them and better their lives these things are what's bad for them. So if anything, I don't dislike and I don't hate you. I take pity on every single one of you. And I would like nothing more than to, if you don't think you need help from us or whatever, that's fine. I would at least like to help your children or friends or relatives or whoever who might be struggling, who might not be in the same position that you're in as a small business owner or someone who has their life figured out. You've got life figured out? Fantastic. I'm so happy for you. Really, I am. I'm so happy for you because not everybody gets to that point. Some people die. Some people become homeless. Some people are just racked with debt for the rest of their life. I never said that communism was I'm done.
With capital punishment, if you have to. If that's the way to fucking actually to get anything done. Okay? I don't have a problem with any of this shit. But ultimately, I care about, helping people. Sorry for fucking going on a major tangent here, but it is bullshit. Anyway.
Because I go on major tangents all the time.
I hope you understand what I'm saying, and you're at least like listening. But what we're doing right now is not working. Anyway, do you have any feedback on that?
That was pretty good.
At least throw the gauntlet and let someone beat the shit out of their senator. At least come on, give me something.
Oh man, see, this is why I like Hasan. Hasan is my style of commentator. I like Vosh, I like Shark 30 or 03, however you say his name. I like him. I like Prime Case. I like all these other people that engage in politics on YouTube or who are part of, if you want to call him Brett too, Dylan Burns too. Even though he won't let me on his show like he needs to. I like these guys, but Hasan just resonates with me, and this is why Hasan is in the position that he is, where he has this influence and Hasan is the brocialist. Okay, that's funny. Because that's true though. That is true. He's a brocialist. That's the thing though. The way in which he delivers his commentary and the way in which he delivers his politics, the fact that he does it that way is how he gets people to listen to him, because he delivers politics in a very, I don't want to necessarily say dumbed down, but in a very simplified, easy to digestible way, and easy to digest format, and also with a little bit of a vibe that will allow younger people to get more interested and invested in it. I think a very big problem with the left is that the left doesn't do stuff like what Hasan and Vosh do. I think that's a big problem, is that we think that people want to sit here and listen to some dude ramble on about economics all day. Nobody wants to do that except for psychotic people who think economics is a valid field of study. Yes, I said that. Yes. Yeah, economics is classically used to just defend the rich. But what was I saying? Like nobody wants to do that. They want it. They want the facts, yes, but they want it in a way in which they can understand and that they can relate to, and that's why Hasan is as successful as he is.
The gauntlet, and what was your other option?
Gauntlet and the whip.
The whip.
Anyway, let's continue with the trans thing.
All right. Do I want to react to the second part of the debate? I think I've talked enough. I've talked for an hour on a 13-minute clip. I've seen worse. I've seen people do worse. Not talking about Hasan. I'm just talking about me. I've seen people do worse. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end that broadcast there. Those of you who came into what's it called? What is this? YouTube chat and everything. Thank you so much for coming in and watching. Thank you so much to everyone who has tuned in on TikTok. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then we will be back again at around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, where we are going to be on Prime K's debate panel. I'm going to go ahead and actually do a little bit of reading for that, for preparation and what have you. But anyways, y'all take care. Y'all stay safe out there.